This dying girl is the last surviving human on this desolate planet. Her father prays to the gods, hoping for water and food to save her daughter, but until she was buried in the sand, there was no response from the gods. Just as her father, Gorr, lay in the desert waiting for death, he heard a call from behind. Following the sound, he found an oasis had appeared in the barren desert. Gorr saw the fruit on the ground and rushed to eat it, not noticing a man appearing before him. When he realized, he discovered it was the very god he worshipped. Gorr told the gods about the planet's plight and begged them to grant him eternal hang, but didn't expect it to be met with ridicule from the god and the nearby followers, as they were indulging in festivities, celebrating the recent killing of the wielder of the Death Spirit Sword. However, this cursed Death Spirit Sword possesses the power to slaughter gods. Humiliated, Gorr finally saw through the god and directly removed the necklace of faith, but this action enraged the god, who tightly grasped his neck. Just as Gorr was on the verge of suffocation, the cursed sword of the dead was suddenly shrouded in darkness, then flew into the air, landing in Gorr's hand and stabbed into the god's throat. Gorr has now become the new master of the Necro Sword, and he vows to slaughter all the gods. This is Marvel Universe's latest film, Thor 4, officially online. After Avengers Endgame, Thor worked out daily and flaunted his physique, and joined the Guardians of the Galaxy to help planets in need, until one day, after an Oasis Guardian was slaughtered, they were attacked by the Kun tribe. The king of the Oasis found Thor, asking him to help reclaim the temple. Upon learning the truth, Thor immediately summoned the Stormbreaker, unleashing the power of thunder. He threw the axe, effortlessly smashing a large group of small Karas, then released the final bolt of lightning to eliminate the entire Kun tribe. But unfortunately, he also chopped the king's sanctuary into pieces. Nonetheless, as repayment, the king gifted Thor 2 mighty beasts, super goats. When they returned to the spaceship, they suddenly received news of gods being slaughtered everywhere. At this time, Thor saw a distress signal from his friend, Shifu, and immediately went to rescue. However, because many places in the universe needed help, the Guardians of the Galaxy only. The good soldiers split into two groups. Thor and Korg used the Stormbreaker to teleport to the planet where their friend Sif was located. At this moment, the Guardian god had already been cruelly killed by the God Butcher. Thor found Sif, who had lost an arm, nearby. Sif informed Thor that the God Butcher was Gorr, who intended to slaughter all the gods, and his next target was Thor's newly established Asgard. At this time, rebuilt Asgard, under the leadership of the Valkyrie, has already become bustling, not only as a holiday destination, but also maintaining the comedic performance of Odin's death. Just at this moment, when they were still immersed in joy, little did they know that death had arrived. At night, the Godslayer, Gorr, brought the Necrosword to Asgard, plunging the sword into the ground, and countless gigantic monsters emerged from underground. In the critical moment, Thor and Korg used the Bifrost to teleport over. The warriors, upon seeing Thor return, were instantly filled with fighting spirit and went on a furious slaughter. Just then, a hammer carrying lightning swiftly smashed through the branches and shrubs among the crowd. Just as Thor thought it was Mjolnir coming back to him, he realized it was not under his control, and in the next second, the Mjolnir flew back to the woman's hand, and she is the female Thor with the same powers as Thor, also unlocking new abilities. At this moment, after the female Thor removed her mask, Thor realized she was his ex-girlfriend. Back when Thor was with Jane, he had cast a protection spell on Mjolnir. Not long after they broke up, Jane was diagnosed with late-stage cancer. However, the current medical technology on Earth cannot cure cancer. In a moment of despair, he discovered in an ancient book that Thor's hammer has the ability to heal the body. So Jane traveled to Asgard and found the hammer that had been crushed by Hela. When Jane approached it, with the assistance of the enchantment, Thor's hammer seemed to respond, and thus Jane inherited it, becoming the new